Welcome to the latest rig build video tutorial. In this video I'll take you through the steps adding surge access layer on the existing rig. With little preparation and bare minimum drawing skill, you should be able to get the correct material needed to successfully complete this project with minimal effort. Given you got the surge kit from eracing-lab, you should have the glue that is necessary to attach all the remaining of the shelf pieces and get amazing surge motion cues. Enough with the talk, like and subscribe to get notifications for future tutorials like this, and now let's get to the build part. Okay, so I made sure to put the motor first, so I now have enough space on the back. And what's gonna be the distance? I'll put this as on the back as possible. This way I can put this closer. This is the piece that go on the top rig actually. This one will have the sliders, the motor, with the attachments for the motor. So this should, square piece should mount on the top ring between those two to move it in the whole top ring on the sliders. And the actuators will connect actually on this rig. So yeah, let's see how it will go. I attached most of the brackets to ensure stability for the time being until it gets fitted to the rest little part. Here you can see some of the glue parts that came with the eracing-lab surge kit. The sliders, the bar braces and the rolling bar. I left enough clearance for the motor, maybe 1 centimeter distance from the back, so I'll have the most usable space in the front. Some of the extra bits you're gonna need are the M5 screws. And proper T-nuts to fit in the profiles that hold down the sliders. To assist with the alignment process, I designed some 3D printed pieces that will hold down the sliders centered in the middle. Now that the rig is upwards, it's a great time to undo the cabling and remove the actuators. With the actuators removed, we can now adjust their mounts from the previous brackets for the track racer to the flat brackets for mounting on the surge stage profiles that are 80 by 40. Given the chance, I'm gonna rotate the motor so the cables are on the side. too noisy today. But anyway, I'll try to do a short description what's the next steps here. Alright, so I took off the actuators and I got the surge platform part against the rig. I did that so I can see the distances and where to mount the little rollers. And on this part here, that there is more space because of the S shape of the rig. I will have to use the spacers, but mounted a little different. Alright, so I moved the surge frame against the bottom ring without actuator or anything. I raised it a little bit, I did some extra stuff there, and just to see how it's gonna be mounting on the sides on the frame that's gonna be moving. So in this case, that this is almost flatter, I move it a bit. I can just use this directly on the rail and then run clamp on directly. But the other side that it's S-curved, that will be the problem. I can use one of them on the big one that it's flat, but the second one I'm gonna have to use those pieces that I was getting for the S-curve for the actuators directly, but instead of mounting vertically, I put horizontally. So it's gonna be like this, mounted there, and the other slider will be here, and how can I use this? What's the point? Alright, let's do some bending. I'm contemplating if I want to mount these first, the sliders, or I want to attach the actuators first, put it down and then lay the rig on it. I'll have to see which one is easier. Maybe I'll put the actuators first on the surge, because I think it's gonna be kinda heavy to have the surge platform plus the actuators on it plus the rig to try to tip it down. Yeah, okay, let's see. Mounting the actuators, it's easier if the T-nuts are pre-mounted, so you can just slide in the profiles. Something to note about the Track Racer 160 S rig, it has S-shaped support plates on the curves. So you have to remove them and mount them on the top side of the profiles instead, to free the tracks below. Before going any further, it's good to check the clearance between the actuator and the monitor stand mount. It may be a little too close for comfort, but should be able to slide through. To mount the sliders on the front side of the S-shape Track Racer rig, I use the existing spacers I used to mount the actuators before, so this can be fully reused again, just a little bit different mounted.
I had to pre-mount some of the brackets on the piece that connects the top rig with the actuator. Just makes it easier since there's limited space to work inside the platform once it's mounted. final position and orientation of the mounting really depends on the rig you have, so it may be different on your case. Here, for example, I'm mounted too high, so I have to move the whole bar down lower to have better grip and space for more brackets. You can see here the final mounting position I used. More brackets and more rigid. All this rakusky here, it's gonna be gone after everything is tightened up. It's way more quiet than it looks like here.
So I finished the assembly of the swords mechanically. All is done. So what is remaining? Right now it's parked part off in the middle, and it won't move actually until it gets power again. So what is remaining is to connect back all the power cables, my actuators that's not connected right now. Everything is disconnected, so I'll be resuming the video once this wiring is all done. Trying to make a sense of all this rat's nest.
I mounted the extra servo drives in the second rack I have, and make sure to sort out all the cabling so it can be easily routed back to the rig. For the actuator connectors, I used the 3D printed model to hold it in place, to allow it mounted outside actually, which it makes it easier for cable management in this case. I had to wrap the connectors in some foam material so it won't vibrate while it's sitting in the holders. I also designed and printed some cable clips to hold them in place in the profiles slots.
Before setting up SimHub, there's a few things I need to adjust on the Thanos controller. First of all, just to mention, I have connected the first 4 ports, the vertical actuators. I don't know which order, I'll have to discover that on SimHub, it doesn't matter the order. Then I know for sure that I have the belt tensor or port 5. Port 6 I have traction loss, and port 7 it's the surge that I just added. So I should change the axis, the number of motor axes to 7 first of all. Then let's see here, I have to make sure that the auto park actuators setting it's 5 vertical actuators at 2 horizontal actuators. So 5 vertical, it's the first 5 ones, including the belt tensioner, and the 2 horizontal ones, it's the traction loss and the surge. Then make sure the stroke is correct for the various actuators. All of them should be 150, except the belt tensor should be 100. Looks good. And I think that's it. All the rest will be left as default. I decreased the button speed to 15 so I can manually test without going too fast. And no spike filter, it's deactivated. The pulses, make sure it's 200. If it's less, you may need firmware update. And that's about it. And this is the firmware using lasers, fix 8 for the 2560 firmware. Firmware. Okay, so let me jumped over. So let me zoom out here. I'm gonna activate the servos to make sure all is centered correctly. So you'll see the traction loss, the surge will be moving. And then they're gonna center. Okay, and if I do some manual movements, I should see them move around. Okay, all looks good.
Okay. So we are ready for setting up the sync hub correctly and start doing some race. Oh, by the way, the consumption on standby, it's 65 watts. It's not bad considering all this weight the actuators hold right now. Alright. I have all the servos powered up, and right now it's in park position, everything. So I'm going to do the settings for the output settings. I'll have to reconfigure the platform to have the sorts. So I have to go to the reconfigure platform output. So I'm gonna have to change the dedicated axis to include sorts. Right now, before I had it with rear traction loss at the single belt tensioner. So right now it's going to be 3DOF plus surge plus traction loss at the belt tensioner. So I'm going to do OK here. Then I have to go to the controller page where I have to edit the assignments again, because I don't remember how I wired everything, because the cables went kind of random order. So I'm gonna do again the identify to see which one is which. Let me see, let me do the axis identify, again continue. Yep. So it will list everything up and start moving one actuator at a time. Yep, that is the, let me stop this test. This is the rear right corner. Let me do the number 2 actuator. Which one is that? This is the front right. So I can go change it here to say front right. Let's identify number 3. So every time you do that, it will move all actuators to 50% and move it a bit. So right now I see it's moving the front left. So I'm gonna change the 3DOF setting to be front left for that actuator. And then we'll identify the number 4. I'm doing mostly for these actuators because they can easily get mixed. I don't know which one is which. Yeah, this is the rear left. Okay. Good. And then the rest I know by the way I connected them, because I have the settings on the controller for them. This, for example, the belt tensioner, now it's on number 5. If I run it, it will just tense the belt. It's moving up and down a bit, I can feel it. Number 6 will be the traction loss. Let's just try it for the laugh. Oh yeah. Okay, stop test. And then the swords, let's try the swords again. Okay. Alright. Looks like everything is working. Okay. So I can manually test the platform axis. I wouldn't recommend that for the vertical actuators because it tests one at a time, it doesn't do the 3DOF. But I could try it for the traction loss, for example.
again, or for the swords. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it in the middle again. Cancel. Okay. It's parking. So now everything should be ready. Let me close this. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. Slide left over bumps. Easy right, slowing. Easy left to the crest. And easy left. Easy right to the crest. Easy right, crest. And medium left. Crest. Medium right. Medium left. Slowing, easy left to the crest. And medium right. And easy left. Jump. Good. Easy left. 8 and slide right. left, don't cut. It is right, medium left, crest. Slight left of a jump, to low. Make a jump. Easy left, crest. Crest. Jump. Slight left. Easy right of the jumps. Caution, easy left. Easy left. And medium right, crest. It's a medium left. Hard right, unseen. It's an easy left. It's a bridge. Medium left is a hard right. Slight left of the crest. Hard left. It's an easy left. Crest. Slowly crest. Slight left. It's a hard right, unseen. It's an easy left. Slight left of crest. It's a slight right. Easy left of the crest. Easy left. It's easy right, slowly. Easy left. Hard right. And hard left. And hard right. And hard left over bridge. Easy left to medium right, medium left, over finish, hard left to stop. Okay, that's a 5 minute, 41.4.
So there you have it. Adding the surge wasn't so spectacular as the traction loss, but it really adds to the motion cues for surge effects, acceleration, deceleration, etc. Yeah, it doesn't take much space, it's worth it.
Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah.